forms such as a trustees meeting to ask proper questions or to speak to that official and try to get all the facts. I don't believe that slinging mud without looking someone in the eye is courageous. The pack mentality has taken down some good people without merit, and when you don't get that satisfaction you deserve from an elected representative, vote. And that was respectfully submitted from Thomas Hughes at 369 Burnham Avenue.
Okay. Dennis Hardy, come up to the mic and say your name and address, please.
Dennis Hardy, 21 Care Street. So I guess I'm in the arena, as the gentleman said in his letter. So I am disappointed in the agenda item 8 with this board hiring outside counsel. How did we get this far or this low? In all my years in the village, we have always encouraged our residents and our elected officials to advocate for the betterment of the village. Nate has done that in an outstanding way as a trustee. So it's very unfortunate. But there are some things that we can do, like start by enforcing our village codes and ordinances, by removing the fence that is not to code on 447, 477, by requiring the developer to submit a proper subdivision plan that all other residents have to do, by requiring Mr. Britton to provide access to the open space that is part of a previously approved site plan, and by declaring a positive declaration under CEQA to address the impact that development will have on traffic and noise and infrastructure. Those are some of the things that you can do that are not in litigation that you have the ability to enforce, and I expect you to do it. Thank you.
No?
It was a sign sheet.
Janice Young. Please state your name and address.
Janice Young, 20 Atlantic Street. I'm not aware. That's why I hired a few neighbors, because Mayor Tucker, you and the Board of Trustees implemented a CDM zone without the approval from the county or the villagers of Piermont. After it was done, after you heard concern and protest from a lot of us, did we have an affidavit from Ms. Georgi stating that she sent a letter at such and such time and that the clock was effectively out, and we were told, in essence, too bad that the board doesn't care, nor does the mayor what the villagers think. All you have to do is reapply openly in public and pacify the public and show that this government is in fact for the villagers and not in fact working for Phil Griffin, Frank DiCarlo, and a few other rich businessmen who see Piermont as a place to exploit for their personal gain. Nate Mitchell has resigned amidst allegations of wrongdoing. He noted that there was a confidential email he was asked not to talk about, and evidently suggesting or saying that one of them was a secret is akin to telling it. This is a ludicrous claim, of course, but ethical people often do get upset when the opposite trait is suggested of them. I imagine this is particularly the case when one has dedicated a large portion of one's life, years, serving the village and serving one's accusers, and doing one's best to be democratic, to listen and hear and attempt to address the concerns of constituents. Now, I don't really know the guy, not very well, truth be told. I've only met him a few times. The first time I met him was when he appeared on my block. I didn't see any of you when my block was underwater. Okay? I do know that his reputation in this town is stellar. I do know that everyone who speaks of that guy speaks very well of him. So I think that this is outrageous. I know Phil Griffin has allowed land he's committed for public use to be locked behind a fence. I know he has more development plans, but he promises to do things for the village, so that'll make it okay. I don't understand why I don't believe that. I know taxes were paid, not paid, for years on lands now intended for development by multiple players. I know our mayor never spoke on why the CDM zone should stand since I started attending these meetings in January, even before there was pending litigation. And I know that tonight's agenda was set by our mayor, with Nate Mitchell served up on a plate to teach the rest of us that ethics are only important when they serve this board's purpose. The village board has become an echo chamber, a singular body. I'm a teacher. I've spent 25 years in the classroom. I recognize bullies when I see them. Going after Nate for his alleged breach is smoke and mirrors. You all know the guy. The village board, by aligning itself with businessmen over its residents, has proven itself a collective bullying force. It might be a good strategy, but it's ethically disgusting.